In 2022, I've helped over 200 videographers grow their business and finally make the money they deserve. And the way how I did that was pretty much by just showing them step by step how I built my own video agency to over $40,000 per month consistently. Now, these are a bunch of different things that these people learn. But in this video, I will share with you the number one thing that will change your video business forever. So in 2016, when I started my video production company, I did that with my friend Joel. We were business partners at a 50-50 ownership. Now, that was one of the worst ideas ever in hindsight because of the fact that when two people come together that have similar skills and the same interests, it's never a great business partnership. Two business partners should always bring different skills to the table. In example, you should bring the video skills and your business partner brings the marketing and sales skills, or the other way around. And for us, it was the complete opposite. It was I brought video skills, he brought video skills. I wanted to direct videos, he wanted to direct videos. I wanted to manage projects, he wanted to manage projects. We wanted to do the same things. So you're taking away things from each other instead of adding things to the business and adding value to it. But in the beginning, we didn't know better, so we just felt like, hey, we're motivated together, we're working together, it's awesome. And the way how we handled client projects and getting projects was pretty much based on our background. So Joel, he did a sales apprenticeship kinda, and I was still in school in the beginning. So we thought, hey, it would be smart if he does the sales calls, right? He picks up the phone, he does the cold calling, he reaches out to people, and he makes sure that we actually get sales in the door. And I was leaning back thinking like, yes, Joel is gonna do that, he's amazing, right? But deep in my stomach, I felt that fear of what if I have to do that? I'm nervous. I mean, I was at a position where I didn't even dare to make a reservation at a restaurant. I didn't even dare to call my barbershop to make an appointment. I was so scared of phone calls. So it was a blessing to have Joel do all these calls for me, and I didn't have to do anything. So I personally was happy that he did it because then I didn't have to, but I also struggled with observing him and seeing that our sales closing rate was really low. He wasn't that good at it. He didn't close as many projects as I would have liked to close. So I was sitting there on the one side being a bit pissed that he doesn't perform the way I want him to, but then on the other hand, I'm scared to death. So therefore I will not rip his phone out of his hands and do it on my own. And that is a deadly combo. So then the day came, end of 2018, where he left the business because he wanted to go and do other things in his life. And I was sitting there scared, nervous, shivering, sweating, because I knew now I have to do the sales calls. But I didn't. What I did instead was I started sending emails, chatting a bit, sending DMs, a little bit back and forth because it was more comfortable. But then one day I woke up, I walked into the office, I sat down and I was like, today it needs to change. Why? Because I've sent out hundreds of emails, hundreds of DMs, have chatted with so many people, yet I didn't close a single deal. I have to pick up the phone and finally make calls. Because only when I'm gonna make these calls, I'm gonna get the projects. And once I did that, everything changed. Now don't get me wrong, I was not just the master caller from that day on. I was still so incredibly nervous. But there was a mindset that was taught to me that really made it way easier. Somebody told me, Nick, if you make 100 calls in a day and you book 5 discovery calls, and from these 5 discovery calls, you book 2 strategy calls. Now in these 2 strategy calls, you close 1 client. What does that do for you? That client pays you $5,000. So now for every single phone call you make, you're gonna make $50. 100 phone calls, you make 5K. So 1 phone call, you make 50. And it does not matter if the person on the other end of the phone says yes or no, or get the fuck out of here. It does literally not matter. Every single time I pick up the phone and call somebody, I'm making $50. And that really motivated me because then I had a sticky note in front of me and just wrote down 50, 100, 150, 200, and I started seeing the results. I started seeing how I'm making money. And that was the incredible moment. I was like, this is actually fun. This actually gets me results. So let's keep going. I want to add another 50, another 50, another 50, another 50. And suddenly it started to become really comfortable and fun instead of this daunting thing that scared me to death. And that's, by the way, also the number one thing we teach in the Video Business Academy. Whenever one of our students isn't making as much money as they should, I'm asking them, are you picking up the phone and doing these follow-up calls? Are you making sure you talk to people? When an inquiry comes in, do you just send an email back or do you call them? When somebody asks you if you can make a video for them, do you just send a text back or do you call them? And the funny thing is, every single time a student of mine transitions from writing emails or sending a text to actually calling them, they start making a lot more money. And the reason for that is also very simple. It's because humans value relationships and connections, and you are way more connected through the phone when you actually hear a voice rather than just sending an email or a text. Because based on an email or a text, people cannot read your emotions and you cannot read their emotions. So therefore, it's very dry and you can just be compared based on numbers, black and white, instead of you as a person that actually delivers value to the table of the client. So that's it. That's exactly the number one thing that will change your business forever. Even though it's scary, you just have to do it. But if you really want to learn how to do it, if you really want to learn the scripts of how you do calls, how you do follow-up calls, how you need to structure pitches and actually get clients for $5,000, $8,000 or $10,000 per video, then you maybe should check out the video on the right, because there I show you exactly how the Video Business Academy program works and how you can get to $10,000 a month with your video business within 60 to 90 days. Now the cool thing is, there is even a 100% success guarantee. You better go check that out right now and we'll see each other there. See ya.